so the documentary. What's your
Yeah.
what are your takeaways?
Oh, dude, it was so cool because they got to use like some never. It seemed like like never seen before type footage stuff. So that was pretty cool. Like that was kind of like where because you hear like a bunch of you see like the new documentaries about anything and and they'll show you like stuff that you've already seen. But then when I first saw like I can't recall. I think it was from the first couple episodes. I was like, oh, this is different. They're actually gonna do like a whole cool little new thing with Joe. And yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like I was texting you back and forth and like just a lot of the stuff kind of already knew, but how he's at Notre Dame and just kind of climbing up the depth chart there. And the little tidbit on the Rudy thing was pretty cool. Because Rudy took his spot on the active roster. That was neat, and he like had a little inside of that. And yeah, it was good. It just got more and more in detail about the not just how great he was, but just the punishment he took. And the way they played back then was different. It's different now. And that's why I can make an argument, even though we didn't see him play. But you can go back, and since we're big on not just the 49er history standpoint, but in NFL history, because we're football nerds. But it's kind of like you could make an argument for Joe being the best of all time if you wanted to. I know I'm not putting words in your mouth, because I know we'd probably sit here and say that Tom is Tom, and he's gonna probably go down as the greatest. But I think errors matter. And you know and Joe was just, and that's just that's how we built it. Like you're not shit until you win a Super Bowl. Like and you're not shit until you win multiple Super Bowls. And and that's kind of like, and even Steve kind of said that in one of the Americas games. I think it was the one where yeah, for sure, the one that we won in 95, 94, 95 was, that's just the way Joe built it. And it was, and just that in itself is enough to make a case for Joe being one of the greatest. So yeah, it was. And then then you got towards like the middle where the injuries happen. And when fucking dude, I tell you, the Giants might have been, not to like dive too much into it, but the Giants might have been, because people probably, that if anybody's gonna be watching this, they don't give spoilers, but it's like the fucking Jim Burt, that I heard from Jim Burt that he took, I think it was 86, 80 to it.
Yeah.
That's like where the story that my dad told me, like, dude, I thought Joe was dead. I thought he died. I was like, dude, what? It's like, no, Tom's done, whatever. But Joe Montana died on the field that day. I thought he was dead. And then like the Leonard Marshall hit in the near perfect season. That was a fucking rough one too, because he, but it was cool. What was cool, I think, was the little thing, but like getting to know a little bit more about his Chiefs, those Chief years. That I didn't know. Like, they came from behind against the Pittsburgh in that game. I think it was a divisional game, and they beat the Oilers. And so it was cool, man. It was. But I guess what I take away from it was like, just he's a tough motherfucker, and he built it. Him and Bill, and they transcended that. Oh, and I'm not forgetting like when him, Bill putting Joe and Steve kind of like, that was like, we heard about it. Like that was kind of like, the QB controversy of the, modern day. But like, but yeah, I was something, man. What did you I mean, what did you think? I was so happy you were able to finish it. I need to talk to someone about this.
Yeah, it was good, man. I went from the America's game, the 81 season, and I switched to that like the following day. It's like my post 49ers loss, like medicine. I just get nostalgic and curl up in a ball on the couch and fucking cry. So it hit me different too. But like the beginning story of Joe, and like I didn't know any of the details about Notre Dame. He came from Notre Dame, but I didn't know much of his like ascension there. And then it's always cool seeing, how him and Dwight Clark kind of found each other, came to the team at the same time, and their kind of rise to fame. A couple of kind of on paper like long shot white guys who probably aren't gonna, Joe's not the most athletic, and Dwight Clark, what does he really do well? See those guys put it together, so that was cool. Um, yeah, like I always knew Joe Montana was tough, and I've seen plenty of stuff, but to go that in depth and show you like every game where he's taking these big hits, and every time he got hurt and gutted it out, even during the regular season, during his, during the 1980s run. Um, he's a tough SOB, man. But that and the clutch moments, just again and again and again, and that's why I think that is what puts him in that conversation, why he'll always be there, and part of the magic of why he was placed there to begin with. Not just because statistically he was really good and efficient and a winner, but he was clutch, and he's probably, even to this day, probably more clutch of a quarterback than anyone that's ever played. I mean, as great as Tom Brady is,
Sure.
and Tom's had plenty of. I mean, I'm sure on paper Tom Brady has had more comeback victories, but those magic moments. Tom's had a few, and Peyton's had a few, but Joe seemed to make an entire legacy off of it. And so, yeah, it was fun. And the rivalry with Steve, I didn't know it was that. You always knew that they were rivals, but to get a deeper look at that was really interesting too, and see kind of Steve kind of chomping at the bits to get his start, and that he sat behind him for 5 years was just insane to think about. And just kind of the politics that were going on behind the scenes, where Wall and then Seifert are probably whispering into Steve's ear, telling him what he needs to hear to keep him around and keep learning, while also kind of massaging the goat and making sure that he's taken care of. But you have two people on the roster that are and end up being first ballot Hall of Fame, to the at least two of the top 10 to ever play the game on the roster at the same time. And it's pretty cool. It was fun. And then of course the last episode where he goes to Kansas City, and you can hear him getting emotional about it as he's talking about it. 25 plus years later, like he still cares that much. And just the culmination of that, and like the end of the era, and then like Dwight Clark dying, and him coming back for that, and just the whole thing was very emotional. Yeah, it makes me proud to be a Niner fan. And then I went online and I saw that on the cover. I was like, that's the one I'm buying, because there was like a few different books, and I was like, that's the one. But this is like the Michael Jordan of football. Like, this is the guy. This is the silhouette right here. This is the guy. You don't need a face on there. Look, there's no face. You don't need 16 red and gold. That's football. That's the quarterback. And he's still that guy. And as great as all these other guys have been, and will continue to be as the years go on, the bar is Joe Montana for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it really hit home. I got emotional in the last episode. It was really well done. I enjoyed it very much. So I just got to wait on Steve's documentary. I have to wait another 10 years on that one.
Yeah. Maybe he shares more information on the two going at it, but yeah, they pushed him out. That was kind of the part where, I know, like, because it's what's funny, because like it's so. Yeah, I don't want to bring it to like current day and where we are now, but we're moving off a guy who's quote unquote a proven winner, but he can't, he's not the guy that can extend plays and make plays with his leg. But we drafted a guy that can, and Bill even knew that, and Bill wanted a guy that can extend the play and make plays with his legs, because he knew the benefit in that back then. Like, it's great. Like, obviously now I think the biggest difference even today now, the athlete. Better athletes today. I mean, people can argue that too, but I think that they try to just sneak, like, and they had to cover. And it's funny, they had to cover their ass because Joe was getting hurt, and we have a guy that couldn't stay healthy either. Again, I'm not making a fucking. There's no comparison between Joe Montana and Jimmy Garoppolo, but like it's funny in the, like, it's kind of like in the same way, like, it's Joe was getting a little long in the tooth, but he was still piecing it together, but he was getting hurt a little bit, and then we had this guy that was ready to go. I think maybe not a year after we got him to Tampa Bay, but um, they pushed him out, man. That was kind of like the little unsettling part, the how the how the the front office came to be, and I still love up to the fact, like, um, even when he was pretty much meeting with the guys in Kansas City, like DeBartolo still went over, like, remember that, like, he still went and, like, pretty much like, said, hey, you're starting, I don't give a fuck what my coach says, you're the guy, just don't go.
Yeah.
And I that's why I miss Eddie DeBartolo, but yeah, man, that it's like I was telling you earlier too, like, I'm talking to some old school Niner fans, like, to some of to some of the more arrogant, not I won't say ignorant, but the more old fashioned ones, like, you're not a Niner fan, and if you haven't seen Joe Montana play, like, they look down on you on that. Like, you haven't seen shit yet. You haven't seen greatness yet. You haven't seen Joe Montana play live. You can watch all the fucking documentaries and all the YouTube clips you want, but you haven't seen Joe play. And like when that, so that as a fan, you kind of hear that, like, well, I mean, that's something not on us. It's just we grew up more with Steve and then with Jeff but um yeah, man, it was a great. They did a really good job. Uh, I I love the Brent Jones bit at the end too, like where they show Brady and Brady, because Brady was at the '81 championship game and Brady was a big Niner fan. He's from San Mateo and big Niner fan, and he was and Brent Jones was like, I love Tom Brady, but he would be the second greatest quarterback of all time. And then the new footage where they're at like more recent footage where they're doing something and they're all there, and you see Joe shake Steve's hand like there's, and then but if you see that, did you kind of see the frame there? Because next to Steve is Aaron Rodgers, and next to Joe is Tom Brady. So they're all four there just hanging out. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, they're like when Steve shook his hand, it was like current day. I don't know. It was probably like a year ago when they were filming, but that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, man, it was a really good job. Like the different guys that they were able to get to sit down and talk to, and everyone. It seemed like John Taylor, Jerry Rice, Brent Jones, to dude, who am I missing? I'm missing a lot of people, but yeah, it was they did a really good job. I'm glad. And Joe Montana uh, is like I always see, like, again, eras matter, and that's when men were men and they were able to play this game with no, with no fucking league fines about doing shit, and receivers can go were actually definitely afraid to go across the middle at times, and Bill was able to kind of, again, introduce the offense that still transcends football to this day, that the concepts and certain things that people still use to this day, including the Niners. So they did a really good job. They did miss. I don't know. Did you know that fucking Joe Montana saved his granddaughter from being kidnapped?
No.
True story. True story. No, so there's like a baby now. Like, remember, like the one he was dancing with, his daughter had the baby.
Yeah.
Someone apparently look it up, Google it. Someone came in, broke in, and tried to steal the baby in the crib. So you know what Joe did? Joe fucking he saw the ball from the catch, 1981. He fucking broke the glasses like any fucking I like fucking breaks the guy's nose. I don't even know if it's a guy. I was like, no, it's a true story. Yeah, like he stopped it, and like he was able to, like, to detain the person that was doing it. It was crazy with the
He
Skechers on.
didn't use the catch ball to.
It's Skechers on. No, I made that part up. No, I made that part. No, but it was, yeah, dude. That was pretty crazy. Like after I should have asked you. Yeah, it just came to me. It was a crazy story. Like in his house. Imagine. Yeah, it's like, all right, whatever. I'm telling. Don't even. Yeah, I'll remind you afterwards to look it up. But yeah, but Joe's to me, like, to my dad and to the older Niner fans that I have, like, I don't have a lot, but like my uncle that's up there still, they're like just hardcore Joe guys, and they always told me those stories, and I'm just grateful that he was on our team. and was able to kind of set the standard for what it is to be, an all-time great player, and literally, I mean, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure yours, the greatest dynasty that this league has ever seen. And yeah, man. So it was good. It was worth the watch, dude.
I think even before I watched the documentary, but certainly as they're going through the 1988 season,
Hmm.
shades of 2021. Like, it was the year that we were supposed to be a little bit better than we were and how we performed and kind of the ups and downs and having to claw back a little bit. And are they even going to make the postseason? I think 6-5 was where they're at one point during the year on the documentary, they say.
Hmm.
Um, and they clawed back and got it done. And they did it against the Bengals that year too. So almost like, fuck, man, was it meant to be? Was this supposed to be the year? And that just kind of sunk my mood a little bit. But yeah, it was a great documentary. It
It's
was,
supposed to be a happy team.
yeah, it'll be one like a handful of years will go by and it'll be time to rewatch it and go rehash. They gotta make more of those, man. I want to see Steve's. I want to see Jerry Rice's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jerry he had a rough first year, and he came around, man. Um, that was so cool. Watching that, I I can't I tell you, when he left on the stretcher, it's like
Fuck yeah, Jesus Christ.
he got fight like yeah, man, like that, like and the defenses that he went again, like again, like not to keep harping on it, but like on why the differences between Joe and Tom, but like that was a Bill Belichick defense and with the Giants and Parcells and the guy and the greatest like the biggest name on in defensive history, the guy that changed the position of football and it is Lawrence Taylor, and Lawrence Taylor was at his peak. Lawrence Taylor, so those defenses, even some of the Buddy Ryan defenses too, with the Niners and then with and the Eagles with Reggie White when Buddy Ryan was there, and fucking Reggie and they talked about that game too, where the Eagles had like some I forget the other, but some guy like some fucking monsters on that defense, and yeah, man, it was that hit that Jim Burt put on him, and then the Leonard Marshall hit, and yeah, man, that was like just kind of just fuck, dude. Any error that's gonna give your quarterback a you know some kind of bodily injury. But it was a different game, dude. That's what I kept seeing from like this nothing like today in a lot of ways. Even though that you get bigger and better and faster athletes, and the NFL's got to protect its brand, its players, yeah, but. And that's not Tom's fault. Tom, and with the salary cap era and with what the Patriots did, you can argue that the Patriots and they probably I wouldn't argue it as much, but Joe's Joe, man. Joe Cool, uh, fucking comeback, comeback kid. So one of those all those names are like those are trademark names, man. Those are fucking you know that's Joe, and that's that. I'm glad we were able to kind of highly recommend it, especially for any of the new Niner fans that are like new Niner fans, as in like if you were getting in the team and you're just watching Alex Smith or Colin Kaepernick and the Niners are your team from that, I highly recommend going back and watching that to see what made Joe so great. And it is, and then his dad. His dad was and mom was obviously the nurturer, but his dad would kind of like teach him how to win. And, it was more like, it's what you don't really kind of, there's a way to win and it's expected. So you're not like, overwhelmed or overjoyed or overconfident or whatever word you want to use. It's expected of you and you keep going and you keep getting better. And God, there was fuck, dude. Like, I wish I would have jotted down the names. His old quarterback coach. Oh, Steve White. No, Steve White was someone else, but he would say that like he would. in the middle of his drop back on warm ups during Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, he would like tell him like, "Oh yeah, coach, I need to work on, I need to do this on my 3-step drop." And he was like kind of taken back by it. Like, this guy's fucking talking about his 3-step drop, like what he needs to work on. He's about to play a Super Bowl. Like, it's just stuff like that. What makes him, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback ever. So, yeah.
And Steve contributed to that too. It was right as the heat started getting turned up. I was like, oh, maybe this could be, he's showing some flashes. Maybe this could be it. And then Joe runs off with, 87, he was an All-Pro. 88, he was in Super Bowl champion. 89, he's MVP, Super Bowl champion. 1990s MVP again. Boom, boom, boom. Into his 30s too. Yeah. What a guy! What a stud!
Yeah, that's a great point, Steve. Steve brought out more in Joe. Yeah. So then the Niners benefited from it, and I think Steve even mentions that on the documentary. Like, the Niners are the big winner at all this. Like, we're killing ourselves, and they got the best out of both of us. It's ultimate competition. So 2 thumbs up.
Transaction time. Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, that kind of came out of left field, no?
I didn't expect it. I didn't even know he was looking for a job, to be honest with you.
Wow. Yeah, I still think this is kind of like, Bobby Turner is a guy that's well respected in the league, that's been with Kyle forever, and he's been a running backs coach forever. He's a big reason why we keep churning out these undrafted guys. Even going back to I might probably make an error on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was the guy that was doing it with Mike Shanahan with all those undrafted guys. He probably was the running backs coach, but it wouldn't surprise me. He's on the verge of, like, he's getting in his mid 70s. So I think he's like his early 70s, right? So he's probably, I gotta think it's that kind of move. But they also fired John Embry, who's been the tight end coach. Big part of Kittle's development. But he also had the title of assistant head coach or associate to the head coach or whatever. But I guess, I don't know if it was because of this hire that he needed to take a step down in title, and he probably decided not to. That probably came with a pay cut, and and because this is during the whole Brian Flores thing, and John Embry obviously is a minority coach, and then it's like, oh, we're letting go our minority coaches now, huh? It's like, bad timing. What's going on? Like, no, I'm pretty sure that was the reason. With with the hiring, the timing, and everything that worked out so well, and Anthony Lynn's been, he knows Kyle pretty well, and there's a cool story about when Kyle was a ball boy in Denver, and Anthony Lynn was playing there, and I gotta think it's more of a move towards that. Like, right now, I think the title for Anthony Lynn is assistant to the run game coordinator, like kind of what McDaniel held, the assistant head coach. And I think he was a long-time running backs coach for a while. I remember Anthony Lynn most when those Hard Knocks series with the Jets. He was Rex Ryan's running backs coach, and then obviously he was with the Chargers as the head coach, didn't pan out there, and he was recently with Detroit being the OC. That didn't pan out either. So it was an interesting hire, and I think it's going to be a good one for us. I think he's always thinking like 2 moves ahead, looking at the big picture stuff and making sure that he builds a staff, a very confident staff that can get the job done. So I'm excited about it. So I think our guys will benefit from that.
Yeah, more experience, more expertise. He's got a good track record as a running backs coach. I think he was with he said he was with the Jets with, I think those are the years Thomas Jones was there, and he was really productive with them.
LaDainian was there.
Who?
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, and he was there with who's a God? He was really Tony Richardson when the Jets had those guys on 1 year deals to kind of make that push. When Rex Ryan was there.
Yeah, I think it was 2010 or 2011 where Thomas Jones had like a 1,400-yard season. He was like past 30 too. But he was with Jamal Lewis in Cleveland, where he had a pretty productive year. Um, there's a few pit stops, but everywhere he went, it's like the run game clicked. So it's good. Just gotta
Yeah,
make sure we're still able to identify those mid to late round talents. Um, get some more people in.
yeah, no, it's coming together. There's still holes to fill. I know. Staying on the transaction part, Richard Hightower's gone, special teams coordinator. Someone I wasn't very too fond of the last few years. Um, he's now in Chicago. Um, Obviously McDaniel. That's some of the I know you want to touch up on that. McDaniel kind of getting the job uh, with not kind of. You got it with Miami. They had a long process with that one. Um, and McDaniel has been with Kyle forever too. Uh, going back to Houston, Cleveland, Washington, Atlanta with us. So good for him. Trying to get Tua back on track over there, but I think Lynn helps with that with that vacancy. So we got my tight ends coach. I guess it's open. I don't know if they're going to promote from within, but yeah, man, it and also Mr. McDaniel, he's got that couple third round picks for him.
Who would have known? Yeah, that's great. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm still not sold on him as like a head coach, main guy, leader of a
Mm.
large group of men. I still don't see it. I almost called him just a kind of a nerdy white guy, but I didn't want to be insensitive. A nerdy multiracial guy, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Forged the birth certificate, but it worked out.
Yeah.
No, again, like I brought it up too, like but if the guys and I kind of harped on it, like went on a rant about it the last episode, but if you just got a guy that is just if you're authentic and you just can just because the guys are again those are pro athletes living out their dream, and if you can just show them that you're a tool to help them get better, they don't give a fuck. So and people look at me. When I first when I first knew his name, I knew him. I guess the Atlanta days, and then going back and seeing what he did. But yeah, man, he even jokes about it. I remember one of his press conferences. He was like, he walked on, and then he's like, I know, fuck, I'm gonna butcher it, but so I won't say it. But he referenced his physical appearance. Like he was like he made a kind of a joke about it. So, but if you're open, if you're just if you're authentic and you're real with people and you treat them like professionals, it's fine as long you just that's all they want. So it's he's a and if he's from the Kyle stand like the Kyle tree, he's as authentic as he gets. So I don't know if they're gonna do well. Again, you heard me say fucking a couple times I thought Urban Meyer would do well in Jacksonville. So
I recall that, yeah.
and that you saw you also how that ended, how that went down. That guy. So we get the 2/3, and now we have shit, dude. Do we have like 8 or 9 picks now going on this year?
I saw the list the other day. I can't. 1 second rounder, and I think 2 in the third. I think we have like 3 seventh rounders. So I
A lot
don't
of
know
them.
the rest
A
call,
lot
but
of those seventh rounders are comp picks.
yeah, I can't remember where some of these things are coming from. I didn't remember trading a third to Miami to move up for that Lance pick. I thought it was. Fuck, I guess I'm wrong. I guess it was 3 firsts and a third for him. Do you remember that? I thought it was just 3 firsts.
Oh, was it a third too? I don't remember.
I think it was. It seems vaguely familiar, but every time I look at the little sheet, because they made a big deal about that once McDaniel signed. They go, and he has the 49ers. Well, he has a first rounder too, but he also has a third rounder for the Lance pick. So this kid cost us 3 firsts and then also a third. So
yeah, like big investment.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll see.
We will see. But congratulations to Mr. McDaniel and yeah, man. Not a lot of people on earth can call themselves an NFL head coach at one time or the other. So good for him. I think he'll do okay. We'll see. I'm not going to go out. I have a bad track record, so but I'm pulling for him.
You're not batting 1,000, not quite, anyways. He's got. I mean, it's not a bad roster. They played pretty well in 2020. 2021, they a little bit more of a mess, but it's not a bad. They're one of those teams where they overperform to their talent level to an extent, because you expect them to fall on their face in 2020, and they didn't. They actually had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
And last year they stumbled, but then they rallied back. Their win streak wasn't against the best opponents, but you can string together 7 straight against anybody in the NFL. It's still pretty good. So they've got good stuff.
It's going to look completely different. I wonder who's going to be his defensive coordinator, and that's what I was going to ask you too. Like he might take guys with him. He might take someone with him, and and this is the first time in a while that Kyle's kind of had to look at his staff and be like, oh shit, dude, there's some guys leaving. So and obviously, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure he's going to take someone from the Niners, whether it's an offensive assistant or someone to go ahead and run the defense. When Saleh got the job, he took LaFleur with him, and LaFleur is the offensive coordinator, and it's gonna look a little different. And I heard nothing but great things about McDaniel, especially from the players. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so this came like this. It didn't come in a package. I have not opened this yet.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to, it's the honor system. I won't look. There's no sport in spoiling it. All I did was look to see where the answers are, and it's for every page we get the questions on this side, and then the answers will be on the following page beneath the next set of questions, so I don't have to ruin anything. But yeah, I was tempted. I got to tell you, I was tempted when I got it to just read through this entire thing, but I didn't. The next one. So we're gonna go 10 questions, and at the end of the 10, we'll recap ourselves the answers. Okay. Some of these are really easy, and others don't appear to be very easy. So, question number 1: What number jersey did star quarterback Joe Montana wear? I think it may have been 16.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, another easy one. Who did the 49ers select with the first overall pick in the 2005 NFL draft?
The first overall pick in the 2005 NFL draft. That's Alex.
Alex Smith. Number 3. Which receiver scored 92 and 95-yard touchdowns in a wild Monday Night Football matchup against the Rams in December of 1989?
That's John Taylor.
That
was pre-cocaine John Taylor.
Okay, which versatile 49er was the first player in NFL history to gain 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season?
Roger Craig. Roger should be in the Hall of Fame, Roger Craig.
Very close, Roger Craig. Very close. I don't know.
Don't politics. Don't politics this up.
I'm sorry.
Trendsetters, trailblazers, they belong in the Hall of Fame. There's plenty of them with that's done less that are in there. Case closed. He's a trailblazer, Chris.
I think he's right there. I think he's right on the cusp.
Here we go.
He got 4 rings? 4 rings or 3?
Enough.
Yeah, well, okay.
3.
3, yeah.
Man,
he started with 80.
He didn't win 81. Yeah,
no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 3.
Michael, he's right there. Okay, he's right there. He might get in one day. Okay. The only Super Bowl made up of 2 teams from the same state featured the 49ers and which opponent?
Chargers? 29? Super 29? Oh. The Chargers. Stan Humphries. Natron Means.
Natron Means. I still have a little miniature helmet signed by Natron Means.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've had it for a long time.
That's such a great
name. And I still have a Junior Seau jersey somewhere around here.
Ooh. I don't know why they look great in those navy blues. I like the ones they have now, but like when I think of the Chargers, I always think of that team in '95.
Yeah. Okay. Who is the team's all-time leader in career yards from scrimmage?
All-time leader, Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Yeah, Jerry.
And just for the record, I know these before you answer them, so I get credit for these too. I'll take the next one. The 49ers reached Super Bowl. Shit. What's that?
Are you looking at the answer already, guy? What are you doing?
No, I'm fucking trying to read Roman numerals and not fuck it up. And the 49ers reached Super Bowl 54 in 2020 after beating which team in the NFC Championship game?
Oh.
It's Aaron Rodgers and his Packers.
Mm.
The third of 4 beatings that we gave him, for the record.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Which 49er was named 2019 NFL Comeback Player of the Year by the Sporting News? Hang on. Give me a second on that one.
Oh, I got you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. I won't say it. Hang on.
Oh, I got you. I guess you cut out there for a minute. Sorry. Repeat the question. I didn't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which 49er was named the 2019 NFL Comeback Player of the Year by the Sporting News?
2019?
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
Sporting News.
I have my answer.
Okay.
Do you have a guess?
By Sporting News, 2019 Comeback Player of the Year. It could be one of a couple guys. Shit. Was it Garoppolo?
My guess is Jimmy Garoppolo. That's mine. I was thinking defensive side. I was bouncing around to like Verrett didn't win anything that year, right? Like he didn't.
For whatever reason, Sherman popped in my head first, but I don't know. It wasn't Sherman. I don't know.
It couldn't be.
Sherman.
Dick Sherman. It's not Dick Sherman. No Dick Shermans. I think it's Garoppolo. Okay, number 9. Who holds the franchise record for the most
Let's
yards?
find out the answer.
What?
Let's find out the answer.
I know. I got to read these off first.
Okay. All right.
I told you because the way the answers read, they're all in a row. So
you're right. I forgot about that. Yes.
It'll be hard for me to not see answers. Okay.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
As I was saying, who holds the franchise record for the most yards from scrimmage in a single season?
Franchise record for a single season in yards? Safe answer, Jerry. I mean, who? This could go back further, though. Could date back pre-Rice. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Jerry Rice. When in doubt, you go with Jerry.
I am really torn on this one.
You thinking Frank?
because well, it might be Frank, but it might be Roger Craig, because I know his 1,000-yarder was barely 1,000 rushing and less than 1,100 receiving. So he's right around that 2,100 mark.
It could be.
And Frank had 1,695 rushing, but I think he had like maybe 400 receiving. So it's going to be really close between those. So it's not Jerry Rice though.
No.
Because his receiving season was like 19 or 8. Fuck, it was 1848. 1848 receiving. And then
say the question. Repeat the question, please.
Who holds the franchise record for the most yards from scrimmage in a single season? You already answered, so
that's got to be Jerry. I am sticking with it.
It's not Jerry. It can't be. No, in a regular season, he probably doesn't even have a 2,000-yard season. He's probably got like 19 something.
Yeah. Okay. Now you got me.
I'm gonna go with.
Now you got me looking this shit up.
I'm gonna go with Roger Craig. Okay. In 2010, the TV show The Top 100 NFL Greatest Players aired. Who was at number 1 on that list?
One more time.
In 2010, the TV show The Top 100 NFL's Greatest Players aired. Who was at number 1 on that list?
In 2010? In 2010. No idea. Do you got one?
I know who it is, yeah.
I don't know who it is.
It's Jerry. Remember this? It came out. Well, it came out in 2010, but it was like it was like the NFL Top 100 thing before they started doing that on a yearly basis. They did one for like great players.
Why am I thinking like the one the players vote on every year, where they have like the little show, and they like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, this was that before they started doing that. They had like all-time players talk about people, and I think Jerry was 1, and I think 2 was like, I think it was like Lawrence Taylor, and then 3 was like Joe Montana. But yeah, Jerry was number 1 on that.
Shit. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, here we go. Who returned both a kickoff and a punt return for touchdowns in a September 2011 game against Seattle?
Ted Ginn.
I was gonna say Ginn.
Teddy Ginn.
You have to give me a chance to think, Michael.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Now, okay. Oh, okay. You take this one.
We're competing, by the way, and I'm pretty sure you're losing. So,
okay, take this one. I'm sorry. I for some reason I'm so, because I feel like you're at. I feel like I'm the one that. Okay, you take it next couple. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll answer the next one first, but not before you have an answer stored in your brain. Who famously celebrated scoring a touchdown against the Cowboys in 2000 by sprinting to midfield and standing on the Dallas Star? You were supposed to let me answer.
All right, sorry. My bad.
That's right. It was Terrell Owens. Okay.
Now you get this one.
Okay. Before becoming the head coach of the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan had been the offensive coordinator of which team? I'm not going to fuck it up this time.
Oh, that's right.
It's the Atlanta Falcons. I haven't been drinking today.
No, yeah. Yeah. You should provide some context there, but you won't, because, it's all right.
You spiked that beer you gave me.
Oh,
today.
I'll provide the context. We had a trivia, and I asked them a similar question, and you said what? Like fucking Cleveland?
The Washington Commanders. That's what I said. My brain skipped a beat, and I forgot that he was in Atlanta for some reason. I don't know how I did that. I went straight to Kirk Cousins. Washington.
It's all right. It's all right.
I was a fool, but I've learned, and I'm wiser now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going? Okay, this one's for you.
Okay.
Who is the co-holder of the NFL record for the most interceptions in postseason games?
Ooh, shit. Why do I get the fucking... All right,
Well,
who is the co-host? Okay, go ahead.
Who is the co-holder of the NFL record for the most interceptions in postseason games?
That's a really good one. Oh. I'm gonna say... I want to say Hicks. I want to go with Jimmy Johnson.
I am going to go with Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Because I don't think Jimmy Johnson played in enough postseason games in his era.
Towards the end? Maybe not. Maybe I should have stuck with Hicks.
Yeah, he's not going to.
Fuck, dude. Then this
Ronnie got there right at 81 and was there throughout the entire 4 Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he was there for the whole thing. He was there the whole thing. Yeah, it's pretty Ronnie Lott. Yeah. All right, now you're gonna get your layup of a question right here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I got that one right. So
go ahead, Chris.
Okay. What number jersey did star linebacker Patrick Willis wear?
Oh, Jesus H. The social security number, Chris. There's a better question.
I think it may have been 52.
Just one number. Good, yeah.
Okay. The Inconvenient Truth was the nickname of which former San Francisco great?
This one's mine. Okay, Franklin. Frankie G. Now, next one. This one, okay, you take. Hopefully, this one kicks it up for you. It's bullshit.
I don't think I've missed one yet.
Yeah, well, fucking, you cherry picking your questions. You're fucking.
I'm answering all of them.
This is. I feel like I'm on Fox News right now. This is
okay.
You just come out of broadcast.
I'm the host. You are muted. You are muted.
So you're saying you don't like the troops? So what are you saying?
You hate America. Okay. Which 49ers head coach said, "Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth." Hang on. Give me a second.
Shut up. What is this, a telenovela? What are you, fucking milking this? Come on. Give me my question. This is ridiculous.
I actually don't. I think this is on the documentary, wasn't it?
Wait, what do you? You're full of shit right now.
It's Walsh, right? It's Walsh.
You're full of shit. You're fucking with me right now, right? Our
formula is this: we go out, we hit people in the mouth.
Your answer's Walsh.
I don't actually don't know this.
Okay. Can I answer for you then?
It sounds like something Mike Singletary would
say. Yeah, it's fucking this. Here's the problem. Look at this. Has got to be some kind of There's levels here. This has got to knock you down a couple pegs here, bud. All right.
Pegs?
Pegs. Yeah, pegs. So,
I was expecting it to be a more like, I don't know, like a legendary quote from a coach who didn't fucking have a losing record and get canned mid-season.
Oh, don't see now. Look, I see what you're doing. Don't try that.
This is a tough pill to swallow. This is an inconvenient truth for me. Discovering that Mike Singletary. I don't know. It kind of sounded like something I heard in the documentary the other day. I swear, like Ronnie Lott and all those guys, and Walsh said we go hit people in the mouth, and then
Walsh did love boxing, but it was Singletary. Yes, it's not Singletary.
Oh,
yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm winning now because of this.
We'll actually be able to tally this up at the end, so just hang in there.
That one should be fucking a 50-point deduction right there, dude.
I'm sorry. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know which player was named the greatest player of all time in 2010? You didn't know that?
I thought, okay, all right. See what I mean? See this? I'm in my little screen now.
You didn't have a guess. It's not like you were like, oh, Joe Montana.
I didn't know. I thought it was one of those player voted bullshit lists that they always do at the end of the year.
You know the answer was going to be a 49er, right?
That's why I didn't know. I was like, wait, hold on, something had to be. Yeah, I know, but like I didn't know. Kind of, we were shitty in 2010. It's like maybe I just go. Give me my question.
Okay. Which opponent did the 49ers face in the first regular season game played at Levi's Stadium?
Chicago. We lost that game.
Yeah, I don't have any memory of that. I probably would have just went with a division game just to try to be safe.
No. This was national. I think it was Sunday night game. Inaugural game at Levi's. I don't remember the score, but yeah, we lost.
Fuck. Okay. What was the cause of the 34-minute delay during Super Bowl 47 against Baltimore?
This one's yours. Another layup question for you,
huh? The lights went out. The power went out.
It was fucking Beyonce, fucking all that twerking she was doing before twerking. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it kind of helped, but
yeah, thank you, Beyonce.
Ultimately, it did not.
Didn't help enough.
Okay. Which AFC franchise have the 49ers defeated the most times?
Dude, this is. Are you fucking? This is.
This one is,
I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm going to stop.
This one's multiple choice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is it A, the Broncos, B, the Colts, C, the Dolphins? This is
the most wins against an AFC team are one of those three. Wow. Let's see. I would have never even guessed those. If it was a multiple choice, those teams wouldn't come to mind. Give me Dolphins, Colts, and who?
Broncos.
Ooh. This is a guess. No, which team has been around longer since the merger when the Niners merged? The Colts weren't the Colts for a while. I mean, they're the Baltimore Colts and Indy Colts, but
yeah, that's why it doesn't say a city; it just says Colts. They've all been around for a while. The Broncos are probably the youngest, but they've all been pretty good franchises. That they don't have like decades worth of lull periods where they suck or we can beat up on them.
I'll go with it's probably the Broncos, but I'll go with the Dolphins since we're talking about McDaniel today.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think it's the Broncos.
Or the Broncos.
Okay. 20 questions in. Here are the answers. What number did Joe Montana wear? It was 16, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, we both got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Who did we take with the first overall pick in 2005? It was Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
What receiver scored on 92 and 95-yard touchdowns? It was John Taylor. Which Niner posted 1,000 yards rushing and receiving? It was Roger Craig. Okay. The Super Bowl made up of two teams from the same state. It's the Niners and the Chargers. We got that. Who is the team's all-time leader in career yards from scrimmage? It's Jerry Rice. We both got that. The 49ers reached Super Bowl 54 in 2020 after beating the Packers. Yes. Which 49er was named 2019 NFL Comeback Player of the Year? It was Jimmy Garoppolo. We got that one. Who holds the franchise record for the most yards from scrimmage in a single season? You said Jerry Rice. I said Roger Craig. The answer was Frank Gore. We both lose. Who is the greatest player of all time as voted on the NFL's top 100 in 2010? It is Jerry Rice. I get that point. You do not. That means I am winning. You are losing. Who returned both a kickoff and a punt for touchdowns in a September 2011 game against Seattle? It was Ted Ginn Jr. Very good. Who celebrated by scoring a touchdown against Cowboys and sprinting to midfield and standing on the star? It was T.O. Okay, number 13. Before becoming a head coach of the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan had been the offensive coordinator of, it was Atlanta. Okay, now I know for sure. Who is the co-holder of the NFL record for the most interceptions in a postseason games?
Oh, that's the one.
It's Ronnie Lott.
Damn it. Why didn't I just fucking go with the obvious answer, dude?
Yeah.
Continue.
Silly. Patrick Willis wore number 52. The inconvenient truth was Frank Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Which 49ers head coach said, our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth. It was Mike Singletary. I'm still up 1. Which opponent did the 49ers face in the first regular season game played at Levi Stadium? I did not have an answer for this one. It was Chicago. We are tied.
Mm-hmm.
What was the cause of the 34-minute delay during the Super Bowl against Baltimore? It was the power.
Beyonce.
It was, yes, Beyonce. Which AFC franchise have the 49ers defeated the most times?
This is going to be it.
Was it the Broncos for me or was it the Dolphins for you? And the answer is it was the Colts.
Of course. Of course.